We start here in Germany, where the fourth wave of COVID-19 infections continues to rage out of control. Health Minister Jens Spahn says further restrictions are needed to slow the spread of the virus. Now, let's take a look at the most significant of the new measures in Germany that are starting today. Now, anyone going to work or using public transport will need to fulfill at least one of these three criteria. They have to be vaccinated, recently recovered from infection, or they have to show a negative COVID-19 test result. This is known here in Germany as the 3G rule. Now, the eastern state of Saxony has already stepped up restrictions after a spike in new infections there, but many residents remain skeptical about getting vaccinated. Let's bring in our political correspondent, Hans Brandt, for more on this story. Hi, Hans. We heard there that discussions about a vaccine mandate are gaining momentum, and we know that Germany will soon have a new government. Is one of their first decisions going to be the introduction of compulsory vaccinations?
Yes, that seems more and more likely. The parties involved in the new coalition that's likely to be in government within a couple of weeks' time, the Social Democrats, the Greens and the Liberal Free Democrats, have all basically swung around to the position that a vaccine obligation might be necessary now to push people to have themselves vaccinated. That's a very major change in German politics, because for months, even years, in the last couple of years, everyone has said that this would not happen. But I think German politicians and the German public are losing patience with this. The problem about this is that the current government is only in an acting capacity. Angela Merkel is acting chancellor at the moment, so she can't take hard decisions on her own. And the new government is not in power yet, so it can't take decisions. Angela Merkel did have an emergency meeting with the leaders of those parties that are likely to form the new government last night. So there is a possibility that some major steps will still be taken even before the new government is in power.
Hans, you said many Germans are losing patience. Do a majority of Germans favor a vaccine mandate?
Yes, indeed, that is the case. That's also a change in public opinion within the last few weeks. There is now a clear majority of people that have lost patience with the people that have not had themselves vaccinated, who are basically the reason why Germany is experiencing such a lot of problems at the moment with the pandemic. So there is a strong push both from politicians and from the public for a vaccine mandate to be introduced. And there is also support from experts on constitutional matters, because there was some question whether or not this would be in accordance with the German constitution. And most experts say that the situation is now so critical that, in fact, there could be good reason to introduce such an obligation to have oneself vaccinated.
We detailed some of the new restrictions that are coming into effect today in Germany. Are they likely to bring these numbers down?
Well, the first thing we have to say is that the vaccine mandate obviously is not going to help to bring figures down quickly, because it will take weeks for people who are vaccinated actually to develop the resistance to the virus. So the feeling is now that other measures are needed more and more quickly, more strictly in a sense. And there is a lot more control now of people moving around in public places, such as in public transport, or even people going to work are being controlled. The hope is that this will help, but possibly more strict measures such as partial lockdowns might still be necessary, especially to help the situation in the hospitals.
Our political correspondent, Hans Brandt, thank you for that update. Let's check in on some other developments in the pandemic now. The World Health Organization has warned 700,000 people in Europe could die from COVID-19 by March, taking the total to above 2.2 million. It is urging people to get vaccinated and get their booster shots. Germany's outgoing health minister, Jens Spahn, has said the country should impose further restrictions to try to stop a fourth wave of coronavirus infections, as more politicians back the idea of compulsory vaccinations. And New Zealand will keep its borders closed to most international visitors for another 5 months. The government announced that fully vaccinated travelers would be allowed to enter beginning next April.